I am ranked number one. One! That means I'm the best.
My objective is always to actually steer Junior in so many different levels. And, you know, with what was happening, I could see that there was no sense in going to his head anymore, so I said.
Because he was winning anyway?
Yes. And so, you know, to stop a fighter who can absorb punishment to the head, the best thing to do is to go downstairs.
So it is really about winning at the end of the day, isn't it? Because if you hadn't been in such a strong position, then you wouldn't have given that piece of advice.
Of course. You know, as a father, as a trainer, as a mentor, he wants me to win. If it's an extremely competitive match, it doesn't matter how hurt the guy is. If I'm in danger, he wants his son to be able to come away with the victory. It's just the fact that it was so one-sided to why he decided to tell me, leave the head alone.
Because I was about to say that chivalry seems to be alive in British boxing, but actually that's only up to a point, isn't it? Chivalry is only proportional to the ability to win.
Yes, you have to win, because it's this is not a game. This is you play football, you play cricket, you play rugby. You don't play boxing. You have to win.
So if it's about winning, does this sort of advice that you gave to your son give him mixed messages? Does it get confusing in that YT to the actual?
Your line of questioning isn't conducive to a good interview.
Why is that?
I don't get it.
It just isn't. It's not going anywhere. You're asking me this is...
What's wrong with that line of questioning?
It's unfair.
Well, why is it unfair?
Because the objective is to actually score your points. I mean, if anything, I will tell you, if anything, the view I have, which is a rule of thumb, this fight wasn't an exception in that I gave him this advice. It's a rule of thumb. If you don't need to actually land shots to the head, then don't. It was a command I gave him in telling him to go to the body. A command. I walked back and I left him to it. Then he has to actually make his own decision.
And when your father gives you a command as your coach, you always obey that command?
If it's the right thing that I feel at the time, you know, at the end of the day, I am still in the fight. I still have a man in there attacking me. So you still have to do what you believe is right.
So you had that famous fight with Mike Watson 25 years ago, which changed Mike Watson's life and arguably also changed your life in many ways. What do you regret most about that fight 25 years ago? Watson's inability to function afterwards, or what you, I guess, would have described as your loss of edge after that fight?
I regret it happening. This is a human being, a man with a mother, a man with a life in front of him. The most magical of all things, that he was incapacitated. That's not what this is about for us.
If you had the choice of having Nick Blackwell in perfect health, he didn't have to have an induced coma, or holding onto your belt, which would it be?
That's not a fair question. I'm not going to answer that question. This is my career, this is my life. I'm in there to do a job. I don't wish any harm on anybody outside of the ring, and I wish him a full recovery.